What's going on, everyone? I'm Sage. And I mean, we're all anxious and waiting for the servers to come back up later on today. And just kind of wanted to go over what my thoughts are and what my vault is, what my hopes are for it, especially since this is our very first one that we're getting, and kind of dive into that kind of a scenario real quick. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. So, ultimately for my vault this time around, I got a full heroic across the top. I didn't complete the entire raid on heroic. We got up to Silken Court, but we were able to get the majority of the slots done. Obviously, all of these are 610s for doing heroic. And then down here, these ones are 603s because of all the mythic zeros. Obviously, we did a massive amount of mythic zeros. And then the big one is actually going to be the 616 gear from Delves, which we have one for every single one of these slots because we've been slamming Delves continuously. The Delve slots themselves, though, are only going to have the loophole of the Delves themselves as well as possible tier, which isn't exactly something that I'm like in dire need of. Some of the trinkets that come from the delves are fine, some of the weapons are okay, but none of them are, I would say, extremely bis in a standard. They're not bad though. And as far as it comes from tier, I'm 609 right now before the weekly reset, and I have a 3 set. And this is a 3 set without using the curio from either getting, 2K rating or 1600 in PvP. And then I still have the catalyst charge as well. So I have a 3 set without utilizing either one of those. So we're guaranteeing that we're going to have a 4 set no matter what on this reset day by either getting it, potentially we can get it from the vault, or we just get it from a curio, which is probably the better option because we get like a 616 version of it from getting the curio. But if I wanted a 5 set, I could get the 5 set very quickly. I have where is it at? A helmet right here that's Hero Track that we could use to catalyze, and then I have a Hero Track helmet. As far as mages go are concerned, from what they've been showing, is that the helmet is a slot that you don't need to have as your tier. You want the other four. So my chest piece would be the one that I want the tier off of. It's also my lowest item level piece. So having the curio get turned in and get a 616 chest piece would be huge. Also, I could catalyze this right here, the champion one, to get a socket on the tier piece, but I don't think that that's worth it over just the raw item level. So ultimately, I'm not looking for tier too much out of this because of the fact that we can convert anything. With having the curio, catalyst, and the vault, there's very good chance you're going to get a piece of tier, at least a 3 set. If you have one piece of tier during raid, LFR, whichever, then you're probably going to have your 4 set already. So, with that said, what are we looking for? Ultimately, I would prefer a trinket in these slots up here. We did not kill Silken Court on Heroic, so I'm not going to be able to get the Spymaster's Web on Heroic. However, the loophole does have the Silken Court and Queen Anshrek from normal in there. Kind of not hoping for those versions of that though either. What I would really, 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 really like is if we jump over here to the raid, is going to be going into, go heroic, getting this trinket right here, the treacherous transmitter. I played with this one on beta quite a bit, and you do a little bit of a dance. Sometimes it had you like where you have these 3 orbs above your head, and you had to jump 3 times, and then it would give you this massive amount of intellect. Or you would have to stand on kind of something that looked like a well of power. You would stand on that, or you had to chase a orb around, and then you would gain this buff. Ultimately, you'd be able to gain this buff right before your burst window, so you can proc it, and before you do your little dance or anything like that, like you get everything ready, you start doing your preemptively pull stuff, and then right before we pull the boss, you would do your dance while doing, maybe you're evocating and you're doing the dance at the same time, depending on what the dance turns into, and then you have all of this intellect while you're doing your burst. So I think that that would be phenomenal thing to have inside my vault. Obviously, the Spymaster's Web would be massive as well. This one right here would be huge if we could get it at a reasonable item level. Like obviously the hero track one is pretty big, but if we went down to normal, then we're getting only that champion version of it, which we don't want the champion tier one because you're gonna end up replacing it, as well as like I'm for sure going to kill this boss on heroic this coming week for sure, and there's always opportunity of getting it from there, right? So I would say that the biggest thing I'm hoping for is actually going to be a heroic version of the Treacherous Transmitter. Even though we'll be killing this boss again as well, I think that that would be the biggest overall gain for my character. Because of the fact that I have the Curio and the Catalyst, and we have the opportunity to move things around in that kind of fashion. The Trink or the ring off the very, very last boss as well, off of Queen Azrac would be nice as well, just because it's a pure damage output ring. Um, but it's heavy, heavy crit mastery. And it's not something that's well fitted into your stat weights at the beginning. It's something that you can fit into it towards the end, and it would be nice. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. When we open this up, I'm hoping that I see one of these with that treacherous transmitter in it, and that would be massive, and that's probably what I would take if I could get it, just to get the heroic version of that trinket. And then yeah, it'd be cool to see something pretty cool in these. My current, both of my trinkets are currently from Delves, so the Shadow Binding Ritual Knife and the Concoction Kiss of Death. I don't like this trinket at all, mainly because when you press it, if you don't administer the poison to yourself, it stuns you for 5 seconds, and while you're doing other mechanics, you're doing your rotation, sometimes you forget it, and that's why I have this massive weak aura right next to all of my other spells and abilities and so on, so that I can remember to administer the antidote. But I'm not the biggest fan of it. Not that it's massive like micromanaged to do, but there are times where I forget about it and it stuns me, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. And then obviously the Shadow Binding Ritual Knife is nice too, but there is a drawback to it where you're going to be losing one of your secondary stats by 3,480 for 10 seconds during combat. It has a chance to proc, but you are getting a ton of mastery and a ton of intellect from this trinket. You're getting about 1,000 more intellect in total by using this Shadow Binding Ritual Knife, um, while sacrificing obviously those secondary stats. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. The next thing I'm going to craft is going to be my offhand again, just to upgrade it. I crafted the 619 variant of my wrists so that I could have the double effect, and then my next crafting piece is going to be my Vagabond torch at the 619. Once we clear a little bit more into heroic, I'll have more of the tokens to upgrade this one. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm looking for. Let me know if you guys get what you want in your vaults. Let me know what your best item, what you believe your best item would be inside your vaults. While we're all just waiting for our big Christmas day, pretty much, where the vaults are open. And that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to kind of talk and express what my opinion on what I think the best thing would be from my vault would be. If you guys have a better alternative in mind for me, let me know, because there's a good chance I don't get the trinket inside this vault. And then what else would I be picking on there? Would I go for a main hand weapon? Maybe I get a dagger out of the raid. Heroic level dagger is not bad. It's obviously, or sword. It's not going to be the one off of Queen Ansarect heroic wise, because I didn't kill her to get her. I didn't kill her on heroic anyway to get the loot table from her. But we'll see. I could get a really good delve weapon. As long as it's not a two-handed or a staff or something like that, because we're not going to take off our embellishments. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys are trying to find as your primary one, and I wish you guys the best inside your very first Great Vault of the season. Happy King as soon as servers go live. And check us out either on YouTube or on Twitch. We're streaming on both of them, so that we can get everybody that is watching these videos. You guys can come and watch me play this game. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, feel free to bring it up. And I'm always game to do in-game content with individuals that watch the stream as well. So check us out over there on Zsage TV on Twitch, or obviously Zsage here where you're watching it on YouTube. Have a great one. Bye bye.